Salute Goodbreads and welcome back to the channel. Bayley, she opened up about the heartbreak of missing out on WrestleMania 41 despite being placed in a storyline with tag team partner Lyra Valkyria. Bayley was replaced by Becky Lynch the day before WWE biggest yearly event, getting written off the show via a behind-the-scenes attack. Bayley spoke about WWE last-minute decision on 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker and Michelle McCool. Y'all check out the intro, and when we come back, we get straight on into it.
And you're so much sweeter than I am. WrestleMania this year.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I was hot.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it was part of the storyline. I don't know anything.
Do you hear that deep sigh?
Oh,
Yeah, maybe it wasn't part of the storyline. But seriously, real talk, I was mad. I was like, because you work so hard, and I know you're the hardest worker there. I'm sure you're pitching storylines right and left.
Yeah.
I'm sure storylines have been gotten used for other people because that, all that happens.
Yeah.
But you're at WrestleMania.
Oh, brutal.
And how many? What was it? 2 weeks before? How it was?
When they took me out?
Yeah,
It was the day before.
The day before.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 2 days before.
No, it was the day before. That was an interesting, and
That's very nice of you.
To be nice. Yeah, I do. It's a test. I feel like every time I get thrown stuff, it's like I'm just being tested, not by the company.
Nice
The
save.
universe and the world is trying to test me. It's
Nice
like,
save.
yeah. It was rough. It was like a little bittersweet. Like I became really close with Lyra, like in real life.
Yeah.
And so like I was super excited for her to have her first WrestleMania, but it was also just like, man, I was told this is where we were going, and then we like, okay, I'm gonna be in this storyline in a tag team with this girl that I don't even know. Like
Right.
I remember first telling her like, this is what we're doing. Like, and I'm just talking about going to WrestleMania as a tag team. Like, don't you think that's kind of strange? Like, you're the Intercontinental Champion, and like we don't even know each other. So like I felt weird about it, but throughout the time we had a few matches. I'm like, damn, we have good chemistry. Then we had this tag team gauntlet match to get to WrestleMania. We had like 5 matches in one night. It was like an hour of wrestling, and I was like, holy, like we're like a good team. Like I felt genuinely like connected with her, and like she's one of the girls grew up, loving wrestling and a huge fan. She's so good, and that had a lot to do with it. But like, and then I was when I was told that what was happening, I was like, oh, now I'm bummed. Like for one, I'm not on WrestleMania, but for two, like we put all this work in, and I really try to make us look like a team so that it's believable when we get to WrestleMania.
Right.
So it was rough, but it becoming part of a storyline and it becoming, what it is now made it a little bit nicer, and maybe I don't even know how to say it without like, I don't want to.
It's okay.
It was rough. It's definitely one of those times where I'm like I had a long conversation with Punk about it. A lot of people that were reaching out and just like, everybody's been in these positions.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, but it's hard when you see people that deserve the spot. It's hard to see it happen to people that the fans want in that spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just doesn't make sense.
That's in the moment. You think that, but I mean, all this, and I'm not trying to minimize that what you're feeling. It's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes it's not a fair. It's not a.
Yeah.
This is not a fair business. At times, it can be the greatest, and then also it can just rip your heart out.
For sure. But it's also like, so I think my love and passion for this is what saves me in those moments.
Absolutely.
It's
yeah.
like, thank God I love this so much, because like, I don't know how people who don't love it go through with all this stuff. Like, how do you guys continue? How do you put your body through it? How do you do this travel?
Your
how do
mind?
you put up with, everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm on John Cena's retirement tour, I'm like hanging out with these guys in the back. Like I get to do these things and watch my friends, fulfill their dreams, like watching Lyra do that and win the tag team championships and all that. That's beautiful. And the Rhea, Bianca, and Io having that match that weekend, like beautiful. And those, I do have those moments, but I feel like I need to have that piece of me that's like pissed about it, because that's
it fuels you.
I have so much more. I'm like, all right, I got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
And I love that. I need to have that.
Yeah. I can relate to you in a sense. There's I beat.
Now, squad, you can hear it in Bayley's voice. She is hurt. She is hurt. She devastated. She even had talks with CM Punk, long talks with CM Punk. And the way they do these stars in WWE is crazy. But you see, Bayley is unique in the sense, if she go to AEW, that is going to be a needle mover. If she link up with Sasha Banks, that'll move the needle for AEW, guys. No cap, no flex. So WWE better start to get their stuff together. They better start to get it together with the booking of Bayley, because she not happy with her booking. And you can hear it. You could go back and y'all go make sure y'all watch the podcast for yourself, because they also asked her about another situation, but this situation was under Vince McMahon booking. So they have been booking Bayley wrong, incorrect for a very, very long time. I kind of like her hello gimmick. I like the hello gimmick, the sarcastic Bayley. And I mean, they're running this. She's crazy, the schizo, the bipolar Bayley. I mean, it's all right, and I see what they're doing. She's gonna ultimately push Lyra to the moon, but we gonna have to wait for the Lyra Hill turn, because that's what it's gonna be, guys. I want y'all to know that we're gonna get a Lyra Hill turn at the end of this, and Lyra gonna be big as a heel. But until we get to that point, let's listen to this other clip from that interview, the podcast. I'm sorry, 6 Feet Under, where she talked about a Vince McMahon booking idea that was crazy.
So now when I look back at it, I'm like, that year really helped prepare me for everything, and helped prepare me for like even the stage I'm in now. And I also like think they really, like, we talk about, you know, all you guys paving the way for us and making it much easier for us nowadays, but like having Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha up there already really helped me, because the locker room was still a little like, you know, walking on eggshells, still a little scary.
Little frosty.
Yeah, a little
hairy,
saucy,
little hairy.
Yeah,
Yep.
so like by the time I got there, I think that NXT girls were being accepted. So it was like, it
Good
kind
for
of
y'all.
like softened it up for me a little bit. And I had my girls there where I could feel comfortable in the locker room, along with like Natty and Tamina and Naomi. They just were the best, you know. But it was hard at first, but like now when I think about it, it was probably what was best for me. And I got to be the champion. That was when we first started touring in NXT. We started going outside of Full Sail. We went overseas. And so being able to take that championship and represent the division everywhere was something that, like, some of the best crowds in the world, some of my best memories ever. I think I was very grateful.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you get injured, like we've all been injured, but you think it's the worst thing in the entire world, right? But then you look back and go, oh, okay, well, that did happen for a reason. It put me in this spot, or it made me think differently, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you find, because when I watch you work, I tend to think do you find yourself leading most of the time in a match?
Yeah, well, especially nowadays, you know, but yeah, I do. So
no, I'm even talking with the other girl, like with, now I don't know about Becky, but even it just, to me, watching and knowing the way I know, it looks like you are kind of the natural leader, and you're kind of dictating pace.
Yeah,
and
maybe. And and I always tell, like, even if I work with Becky or something, I'm just like, I'm always talking. I hope you guys don't, I'm not like trying to tell you what to do. It just helps me, you know, like, it's just easier if we're always like talking. I think so. And I don't know if it's because I've watched forever or because I watch so much or whatever, but I just naturally find myself in those positions, which I like.
You do it well.
Thanks.
Well, no, that is, I mean, that's an art, because there's a lot of guys that were on top that couldn't lead a match.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they could, but it wouldn't be nearly as good. But you can actually, I guess, people that are, when you're really in tune with the product, you know, and you can tell, like, okay, this is who's dictating this match.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what's called. It's the pacing and the just the ring generalship. It kind of really comes through when I watch you work, which is.
Thanks.
How long were you
Thank
out
you.
with your knee injury?
It was almost a year because I had a few like setbacks when I was rehabbing and it just wasn't feeling right on certain things. So, I didn't want to rush it. You know, I was just like, I'm not.
Did you do it in ring?
Yeah, when we were coming back out of the pandemic, it was going to be the first time in front of a crowd again. And I had I think it was an I Quit match with Bianca coming up. And it was weird. It was like it was mandatory in-ring training at the PC because they wanted us to be ready for the crowds, which is weird. But, you know, everybody was there. Jeff Hardy was there, you know, like I was going to be there. But it ended up being really fun.
Wait. Are you serious?
Yes. We had two or 3 days of in-ring. Everybody had to come and train for the crowd, which like I don't.
Wait,
but I was working there was no crowd.
Right, I'm saying the
I know that's
crowd,
crazy, right?
the screen crowd. Remember how they did the?
Wait.
Well, we did that, yeah. But I don't know. They just wanted
When it
us
was just
crisp and
empty.
ready for it. It didn't get over
the
well.
Vince still in charge then?
Yeah.
Was it the
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
It was nuts, but everybody made it very fun. You know, it was like
I guess.
we kind of have to
had
like.
to.
Natty was putting us through drills, like you know, Natty she's just telling us what to do. I was like, hell yeah, this is fun. So it ended up being really fun. But we were doing something. I forget who was in the ring with us, one of the producers, but we were chain wrestling, and I was in there with one of the girls, and it was literally like a front face lock, and I like went to get out of it, like. You know, reverse out of it, and at the same time she was like kind of cinching in on it, so like it just it was just the wrong torque, and also with like her weight down, and it just, you know, it was and I was like, no, this was literally the last day of the training, probably like the last hour, and we were literally just saying like nobody got hurt, it was great, because that's what everybody was afraid of. Yeah, and then so bummed, cried so much. I was so mad. So like then I think Carmella stepped in and took that match at the pay-per-view or something, but never got to finish my feud with Bianca at that point. So like when I did return, luckily they put me back in with her, but it was brutal.
Man, again, you could just hear it all in her tone, in her voice. You could just hear that she's just not happy with the booking, guys. And Bayley never been booked as the number one girl. Think about it, guys. They always pushed and shoved Charlotte down our neck. And if it wasn't Charlotte, then it was Sasha Banks. And then we got this Becky and the Man. And Bayley never had a chance to be number one girl in WWE. So that got to be bothering her. She can go jump ship to AEW and be the number one girl. Yes, over Toni Storm for, you know what I mean? As long as they keep her momentum, she switched ships right now. She will be over Toni Storm, and her and Sasha will be running amok, and we know she's better than Sasha. Sasha got better. You know what I mean? I'm finna watch AEW tonight, Dynamite, y'all check it out on TBS. But getting back to Bayley, y'all, mark my words, y'all, and it's sad. It sickens me to say this because she's one of my favorites. She's one of my favorites, y'all. And she gonna end up with a Natalya career. She gonna end up just like Natty. And speaking of Natty, did y'all see that little promo, that little segment that they gave Natty and Maxine Dupree? Man, that was the best thing on Monday Night Raw this week, if you ask me. Y'all go back and watch that. That was cinema. And Natty, and you heard Bayley talk about how Nadia worked the shit out you, boy. But Natty is a great talent. But again, they never booked her to be the number one girl. And this is how Bayley's career is this the trajectory on Bayley's career, the same as Natalya. You know what I mean? She gonna be putting girls over. She gonna be teaching girls. She gonna be teaching girls how to take her spot. And that's sad. They should do something with Bayley ASAP. All right, y'all. Y'all tell me how y'all think, what y'all think, and how y'all feel about the way they booked Bayley. And let me know. Let's take this to the comment section, man. Salute to all of those that do comment and leave me a message. I know I get to all of the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new over here. And also check out the new feature on your device if you got one. hit that hype button, guys. It is good for the video. I see you guys later.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
No lie, he's wild in there.